Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we get to today's video, I just want to say channel's gained quite a few subscribers over the last couple days. Just wanted to say thank you to all of you that have taken the time to subscribe. And if you're checking out the channel for the first time, welcome. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. If you've scrolled through the channel, we do a lot of variety content and talk about a lot of different stuff. And today I want to take some time and talk about Call of Duty Vanguard. And I just want to ask the simple question, like, what the fuck happened to what this game was supposed to be? Now, I know this is an old question. I know this is an old topic of discussion, and I feel like it's a horse that's been beat to death by many much larger YouTubers that make videos specifically on COD, but I haven't really put out there my opinion and my thoughts on the current condition of Vanguard. Now, in our previous video, our discussion video that's longer, it's like 18 minutes, I kind of touch base on my thoughts on the condition of the franchise and the future of it, but I really want to specifically talk about Call of Duty Vanguard, the Call of Duty that the devs refused to put for the longest time a trophy system in it because it would not be historically accurate. But now we have anime tracer packs. We also have a trophy system, and the biggest and largest elephant in the room that I want to ask about is the EX1, the laser weapon from Advanced Warfare. Now, I will be the first to tell you, it's extremely fun to use. I've had a great time leveling it up. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend like I've never used it. It's a blast, like, no pun intended. Like, it is a fun gun to use, but I just want to try to understand why or when or where did Sledgehammer just hit the fuck it button because the game has just fell off that hard that they just are like, well, nobody's buying our game, and the people that are playing it fucking hate it, and fuck it, let's just put fun stuff in the game. Who cares? Let's fuck historical accuracy. Like, I make the joke all the time whenever I do play it and stream it on the occasion, like, oh boy, I remember when Grandpa used to be slide canceling with his diamond encrusted STG 44 down the beaches of Normandy. And now it's like, I remember when Grandpa was slide canceling down the beaches of Normandy with his EX-M1 laser rifle that the scientists went into the future and pulled from Advanced Warfare. I remember Grandpa telling me about that. It just doesn't make sense. Another thing in gaming that I want to understand of more broken promises and with game developers and the reason why I say, no, they never promised not to put laser weapons, and I'm not implying that they made that promise, but what they did promise was historical accuracy, right? Like, that was a huge focus at the beginning of the game. We want this Call of Duty to be gritty. We want it to be serious. We want it to be taken serious. We want to be taken serious as a studio. And I think, for the longest time, the other night we were talking about things we would change in the Call of Duty franchise. And one of the things that I said was the engine of the game. And some of you guys may disagree, but I truly believe the physics engine and the graphic engine of the Call of Duty franchise, starting with Modern Warfare 2019, whenever it shifted, and if you didn't play any of the older Call of Duties, like if 2019 was your first Call of Duty experience, you won't really understand. Black Ops Cold War gave us a little bit of that old engine back, but like if you go back and you play Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, even the older Modern Warfare games, like the engine, the game feels very different. The movement, it's a lot heavier feeling, a lot clunkier feeling, which gave it that arcadey feel. And I think with this new engine update, it's made the game feel extremely realistic, or at least like the way it's supposed to feel, like almost like they're going for that gritty, realistic feel visually, as well as like with the mounting and stuff like that. I don't, you guys know what I mean. And you have issues with like slide canceling stuff, whatever. I fucking hate slide canceling. I think it is the most obnoxious thing ever that ever was introduced in the COD. Bring back dolphin diving. But I'm getting off topic. Why have we went down this route? And I talked about it the other day briefly about season passes. Season passes is something that, as much as I hate to admit it, I was wrong about battle passes. I think battle passes are the fucking epitome of modern first-person shooters or just multiplayer games. I think they have ruined the core component of the game of getting what you fucking pay for when you hand the dev, here you go, here's my hard-earned $60, $70, $80, depending on where you live in the world. Here is my hard-earned money. And then they have the nerve to develop all this shit and then put it in a battle pass, and then on top of that, they go, okay, we need $10 every time we launch a season. Again, I'll rehash season passes. If you guys were not around for the Golden Age of COD season passes, they were a little expensive, but it was $50, $49.99 in the US. Could be more in other countries, I'm not sure. But in America, it was $50. You get 4 expansion drops throughout the year. It was every quarter. Then you would get 4 maps for multiplayer per drop, plus 1 zombie map per drop if you were a Zombies fan. And then in the newer golden, quote-unquote, golden age CODs, like, so basically from Black Ops 2 on, every time a new expansion dropped, you were going to get a new gun as well. And then, of course, they had microtransactions, but gun skins were like $3, $5 at most. And guess what? They worked for every fucking gun. And everything that was added to the game fit the theme of that Call of Duty game. So that's why I don't understand where the fuck did we take that left turn and get off the exit, because what the fuck is modern Call of Duty? Like, when you really think about it, like, all the Tracer skin packs and stuff never really bothered me on Modern Warfare 2019. They weren't necessarily out of place. I mean, they kind of were for it being like a gritty first-person shooter, but like, it didn't really bother me that there were anime Tracer packs and stuff like that. Yeah, people made fun of it and stuff, and it was super overpriced, but it wasn't really out of place. But then you go and you play Vanguard, and we have a laser gun. I just wish that I could understand the devs, and maybe they have no choice. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Activision just takes their dick and just shoves it so far up their ass, and they're stuck there. They can't do anything. Maybe that is true. You know, all these horror stories that we've heard about Activision and with all their devs and stuff. So maybe that is part of the problem. But I don't, I can't even fathom or justify a laser gun, the EX1. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to use if you just look at it for what it is. It's fun. That's just another one. It blows my mind. It's another one of these things added to a game where you're promised, and I'm, you know, just at this point, I'm like, I'm tired of the false promises. I'm tired of game devs saying, we want to make a realistic game, and then they put shit like this in the game. If you want to make a realistic game, focus on things that actually existed during the time period. If you want to be creative, but in a way that makes sense to the time period. It's like all the camos for those guns. Like, there's the Mandela camo and stuff like that. Like, obviously, you would never see that in a World War II setting. You would never see that. But the style of the art and stuff like that, it's not absurd for a COD game, which is like an arcade first-person shooter. Or it's supposed to be. So it doesn't really bother me. But to see, like, a laser gun in a World War II game, it just doesn't make sense. You can't look at it from, like, a perspective of, like, hey, this makes sense in this type of game. So I don't know. I guess I'm just criticizing and ranting about, like, how modern games just, again, with live service, I've said this over and over again, is beating a dead horse, but with live server games, I truly believe they can never deliver what they promise, because by the time they develop what they're going to develop, they have to start developing the next game, and then while they're developing the next game, they're trying to figure out what they're going to put in the upcoming content, and then they're drained. They don't know what to put in there. And that's what I, was saying the other day in that longer video. I'll put it down in the description because it's a longer discussion video. It's like almost 20 minutes long. And I'm not going to do that with this video. But what I will say, though, is I just wish the devs would make a game, deliver the game that they promise, charges the $60. If you want to add maps, if you want to add stuff, just go back to the old way. Hey, support our game, buy new maps, buy new expansions. It will keep bringing people back and keep them on your game longer. I promise you. I promise you. And I promise you, I'm not the only person that makes YouTube videos, live streams, whatever. I know I'm just an armchair developer, but I promise you there are other people that have been saying this for years and years and years now at this point with the whole live service thing. Sell us the product you promised, or quit making these fucking live service games. I think they're the fucking abomination of modern day gaming. But anyways, guys, I don't want to drag this out too much longer. Thank you again for all the recent support. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys on the next one.